When preparing for a lifestyle portrait session, what does that process look like to you? For most photographers, their primary concern is their equipment and making sure that they pack it properly before their session. Cables, batteries, extra lenses, extra flashes, backup equipment, cards, I mean the list goes on and on. God forbid they can't find something before they leave. Regardless of how stressful it could be to pack before a session, and believe me, I get that stressful sentiment. I check my bag at least 3 times before I leave my apartment, so I get that. Having said that, you don't get a gold star for being properly equipped for a session. All it simply means is that you didn't drop the ball yet. The more important question to answer is, how did you prepare for the session with your client that's going to be in front of the camera? What does that process look like? Is it a short phone call, maybe 5 minutes tops, where you're basically just going back and forth to solidify the date, the time, and the location of the session, and that's pretty much it? Or was it even less than that? You're not even talking to them. You're on the email chain, back and forth, doing the same thing, and the first time that you actually talk to them is going to be when you're in the same space as they are with the camera in your hand. And at no point during these interactions you even hazard to think about what you're actually going to shoot with them during that session. You just figure, we'll get there, you'll have some outfits, and we'll kind of figure it out as we go. If you're putting more time, thought, and intention into what you put into your camera bag than you do with talking to your client before the session, you're already setting up this whole thing to be a failure from the start. You're leaving too much up to chance. The secret to a successful lifestyle portrait photography session is strategy. Rather than know next to nothing about this person, instead, dive in beforehand through a phone call and understand who they are, who they serve, and how they solve their clients' problems. Since you work with a specific type of audience or have a couple of specific audiences that you serve, you can create a list of comprehensive questions for each of those audiences so that they're a repeatable process and you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time you get on the phone with a new client. I've created a Google Doc where I have a template with all of these questions laid out, and every time I'm booked for a new session and we're about to conduct a strategy call, I simply duplicate that file and just create it unique to them. The answers to these questions are vital. They will tell you all of the things you need to know about the shoot, what props they need to bring, what types of locations you need to shoot, what type of outfits are they going to wear, what are the different types of activities they need to be engaged in while in front of the camera, as well as figuring out aspects of their personality that they want to highlight and the types of emotional sentiment that needs to be conveyed throughout the entire image content portfolio. As you jot down their answers on the document with all of the questions, I would also suggest that at the bottom of that document, create a template for a shot list. The way that I have my shot list set up is in 2 major sections. It's promotional portraits at the top and lifestyle portraits at the bottom. When I'm getting the answers that they're throwing back at me, I can interpret what they're saying and turn it into the types of photos that we need to capture to be able to satisfy those particular needs in their marketing and promotional efforts. At the end of the call, I'm able to then list right back at them an itemized 1-by-1 list of all of the different types of shots we need to get, all of the different props that they need to bring for those particular scenarios, as well as the types of outfits that they need to wear for each of them as well. By conducting this strategy call, it ensures that me and my client are both on the same page. There is no more guesswork. They know exactly what to bring, exactly what's going to happen, and have expectations for what we're going to create together during this session. But wait, there's more. Since you invested all of this time in them and had this very in-depth conversation about who they are, who they serve, and how they solve their clients' problems, you've now developed a bit of a rapport with them. And that's going to really come in handy because the moment that they're in front of your camera, they now feel a little bit more open and more confident because they're more comfortable with you because of that conversation. And it's going to help create better photos as as a result. This strategy call conversation also goes a very long way to building trust and connection with the person that's in front of your camera. Why? Because you cared enough to ask them questions to be able to learn more about them. And that gives them an indication that this is more than just you wanting to take pretty pictures of them. You want to be a trusted collaborator in their success, and you want to make sure that the results are exactly what they need and then some. What are your experiences with strategy calls? Please share your stories in the comment section below. If you found value in this video, please subscribe to my channel. Like, share, comment, all the good stuff. Please do that. I'd greatly appreciate it if you did. Well, folks, that's all for now. Be well in life and photos, and I'll catch you next time.